Welcome back to Historic Coin Empire, the channel where everyday pocket change turns into extraordinary treasure stories and where we explore the hidden potential inside the smallest denominations of American currency. And today we are diving into a modern marvel that sounds almost impossible at first hearing, the astonishing claim that a 2021 1-cent coin could be worth as much as $10 million because of rare mint errors, unique production mistakes, and extraordinary circumstances that elevate it far beyond its humble face value. And before anyone dismisses the idea of a recent penny commanding a multimillion-dollar price tag, it is important to understand that the world of numismatics has repeatedly proven that rarity, error, condition, and demand can combine in powerful ways to create values that defy common sense, especially when a coin represents a once-in-a-generation mistake or an unprecedented combination of minting anomalies. And to truly grasp how a 2021 cent might reach such heights, we need to begin with how these coins are made at the United States Mint, where billions of Lincoln cents are struck using high-speed presses that feed copper-plated zinc planchets into dies engraved with the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield design on the reverse, a design introduced in 2010 and still in use in 2021. And while the process is designed for precision and uniformity, it is still a mechanical operation involving metal, pressure, alignment, and human oversight, meaning that small deviations can occasionally slip through quality control and enter circulation, and most errors are minor and only worth modest premiums. But every so often a dramatic and verifiable anomaly emerges that captures the attention of collectors worldwide, and the 2021 cent presents several fascinating possibilities that could theoretically justify a $10 million valuation under extraordinary circumstances, beginning with the concept of a wrong planchet strike, which occurs when a coin is struck on a metal blank intended for a different denomination or even a different country. And while modern mint procedures are highly automated, history has shown that transitional errors can occur, particularly when leftover planchets from special productions, experimental alloys, or other denominations accidentally enter the cent production line. And if a 2021 cent were discovered struck on a planchet composed of a completely different alloy, such as a bronze composition not used in decades or even a planchet intended for a dime or foreign coin, and if this coin were authenticated as a genuine mint error rather than an alteration, its uniqueness alone could make it a numismatic sensation, especially if only one example were known to exist, because in the collector market, uniqueness is often the single most powerful driver of value, and when combined with strong demand from registry set competitors and high-end collectors seeking the rarest modern issues, the price ceiling becomes difficult to predict, and beyond planchet anomalies there is the ever-fascinating double die error, which occurs during the die creation process when the hub impresses the design onto the die more than once in slightly misaligned positions, creating a coin that shows clear and distinct doubling in its lettering, numbers, or design elements. And while minor mechanical doubling is common and not especially valuable, a true double die, with bold separation in the inscriptions such as "I in God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date 2021 could create immediate excitement among collectors, especially if the doubling is dramatic enough to be visible without magnification, and if such a double die were discovered early in the production run before the die was replaced, and if only a small number of coins escaped into circulation, the resulting rarity could be significant, and history has shown that famous double dies from earlier decades have sold for extraordinary sums, so a major modern double die in pristine condition could ignite intense bidding competition, particularly if graded at the highest mint state levels by leading grading services, because condition rarity is equally important, and a coin graded MS69 or MS70 is exceptionally scarce even among normal issues, so combining a dramatic error with nearly flawless preservation multiplies desirability. And another intriguing possibility lies in the realm of die clashes and die breaks, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, transferring partial design elements onto opposing dies and later producing coins with ghostly overlapping images. And while minor clashes are not unusual, a severe and highly visible die clash on a 2021 cent, especially one that creates a bizarre and eye-catching appearance, could become a centerpiece for error collectors, and if the clash were accompanied by additional anomalies such as an off-center strike or a broad strike where the coin expands beyond its collar due to improper confinement during striking, the combination error would become even rarer and more desirable, and collectors place tremendous value on compound errors because they demonstrate multiple points of failure in the minting process, making them statistical outliers within already rare categories. And speaking of off-center strikes, These occur when the planchet is not properly aligned between the dies, resulting in part of the design missing and part blank, and while minor off-center strikes are relatively accessible, a dramatically off-center 2021 cent that still displays the full date and mint mark while missing a substantial portion of the design could command significant premiums, particularly if the visual appeal is strong and the surfaces remain uncirculated. And visual drama matters greatly in the marketplace because collectors are often drawn to coins that immediately communicate their uniqueness at a glance, and beyond striking alignment errors, there is also the fascinating world of missing clad layer or improper plating errors, since modern cents consist of a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. And if the copper plating is improperly applied, missing in areas, or entirely absent due to a bonding failure at the mint, the coin may exhibit unusual coloration, texture, or weight differences, and while minor plating blisters are common and typically not valuable, a fully unplated 2021 cent verified as a mint error rather than post-mint damage would be far more significant, especially if authenticated through metallurgical analysis confirming that the anomaly occurred during production, and such scientific verification adds credibility, which is essential for high-value transactions because the market demands absolute confidence when millions of dollars are at stake. And we must also consider the possibility of a mule error, one of the rarest and most sensational types of mint mistakes in which the obverse of one coin is paired with the reverse of another unintended design. And although mules are extraordinarily rare in modern times due to improved mint safeguards, they have occurred in the past. And if a 2021 Lincoln cent obverse were somehow paired with a reverse design from another denomination or a pattern coin, the resulting piece would instantly become one of the most important modern mint errors ever discovered, potentially justifying a multi-million-dollar price because mule errors are not only rare but historically fascinating, representing a breakdown in die pairing procedures that are normally tightly controlled. And then there is the concept of experimental or transitional alloys, because mints periodically test new metal compositions for durability, cost efficiency, or vending machine compatibility. And if during such testing a small number of 2021 cents were accidentally struck on experimental alloy planchets and released into circulation, and if one such coin were later discovered and authenticated, its status as a transitional error marking a shift in mint metallurgy could make it highly desirable among advanced collectors who specialize in composition rarities, and historical precedent supports this possibility, as transitional errors from other years have achieved remarkable auction results. And beyond the physical attributes of the coin itself, market forces also play a decisive role in establishing value, because rarity must intersect with demand, and demand is driven by collector interest, registry competition, media attention, and the broader investment climate. And in recent years, tangible assets such as rare coins have gained popularity as alternative investments, particularly when stories of extraordinary sales capture headlines and inspire new collectors to enter the market, and when a coin becomes widely known as potentially worth millions, even those who are not. Traditional numismatists begin searching their change, creating a surge of interest that can elevate prices for verified examples, and provenance further enhances value, because if the discovery of a 2021 cent error were documented with photographs, expert opinions, and a clear chain of custody from the moment of discovery, the narrative itself would add intangible appeal, and collectors often pay premiums for coins with compelling stories, especially if the discovery occurred under unusual or dramatic circumstances, and auction dynamics can amplify these factors dramatically. Because when two or more determined bidders compete for a coin they believe is unique or nearly unique,